Live from Waterford and Dungarvan, this is Waterford at 1 News.
Good afternoon, I'm Sinead Aherne. Today's top stories. The country's first COVID-19 contact tracing app developed by Waterford company Nearform has been launched. Plans to pedestrianise the Apple Market in Waterford City have been met with mixed reaction. Halva Gornalai have issued a warning about people bringing inflatables to the beach, and in sport, there's 3 games across Channel in the Premier League this evening. More than 250,000 people have downloaded the new COVID tracker app since it went live. The HSE app was developed by Waterford company Nearform, who are based in Tramore. The app lets people see if they've been in close contact with someone with COVID-19. The technology was first announced in late March and has cost €850,000 to develop. Speaking to Damien Tiernan on Data Today, Adrian Reckler, technology editor with the Irish Independent, praised the app and its developers.
Compliments to Nearform and compliments to all of the people around Tramore who worked on this, because so far all of the technical people and the privacy people and regulatory people who've looked at this have nothing but good things to say about it. I've looked at it as well. It seems to be very decent. And €850,000 is not a massive amount of money for something that might do this job. I mean, the Brits spent over 10 million on it and they had to throw it out.
This woman in Waterford says the app is really easy to use.
Yeah, signed up this morning, yeah. I think it's a fabulous app to help protect people against contracting COVID-19, and its traceability. It's really good. All our Facebook friends and everything, they're all going to sign up to it very much. It's going to be very popular. It's very easy. It's a very user-friendly app. Yeah, there's no problem with it. None whatsoever. Nobody will have any hassle with it.
There's no change in the number of coronavirus cases at University Hospital Waterford. The hospital is treating 2 positive patients for more than a week. That's according to the HSE's daily operations update. A further 3 patients were awaiting the results of COVID testing last night. There's been sharp criticism from the business community of Waterford Council's proposal to pedestrianise the Apple Market. The chairman of a group of Waterford city centre businesses says the council's taken a draconian attitude in how it's suggested temporarily pedestrianising the area in the city. The local authority is proposing to close John Street on the Apple Market to traffic from 11 a.m. every morning from July 17th for 3 months. They say it'll help social distancing, pedestrian safety and allow cafes and pubs to use the new space for their business. But Brian Tynan, owner of Phelan's Pharmacy and the head of the Apple Market Group, says there hasn't been enough discussion.
There's been zero consultation as such with any of the businesses really in the Apple Market. It's a controversial one because of, needless to say, a lot of the general public would tend to use the Apple Market as means to get up to the top of the town, as it were, and to kind of get through from Johns Hill, Dunmore Road, Williamstown direction as well.
He says the council's taken a forceful attitude to the new proposals.
What would make me happy would be if there was consensus and that everybody was happy with any proposed changes. That's not going to happen. I think it's the nature of it, like every business is going to want to protect their patch. I think if we actually had a general consensus where people actually had the opportunity to voice an opinion on it, that might be nice, but as opposed to the draconian jackboot attitude of we're going to decree it and that's it.
Owner of Revolution Bar nightclub Jim Flash Gordon's in favour of closing the street to cars.
I'd love to see it pedestrianised because I think with COVID people are a bit nervous being inside, and then premises like Bodega, Borza, Market Bar have small insides, and it would enable them to bring their tables and chairs out onto the street and make a buzzy feel to it, like any European city on any town square. Waiters coming out, serving food and drinks out onto the street side.
Billy Finn lives on nearby Spring Garden Alley. He's against the plans for the Apple Market.
We're just being neglected. The whole area has been neglected. It's been neglected all for the Apple Market. Nothing else matters. We're going up to the Apple Market now. If you put tables and chairs out there, and we're not against progress, we're not against the pubs getting back open as such. But what we are against is when you put that out there, how are you going to police it? How are you going to supervise it? Where are the numbers when they come down here and there's too many there? How are you going to disperse them? Where are they going to go to the toilet? We're an old, vulnerable community.
Children living in direct provision frequently experience the use of racist slurs such as the N-word and taunts of being terrorist at school. A new report by the Children's Ombudsman highlights that some young people felt their teachers expressed racist or discriminatory sentiment themselves or were covertly racist. 1,789 children were living in direct provision centres at the beginning of March. These children say they feel trapped by the system, which is treating them like animals.
I would like people to know that as asylum seeker, we don't have a good life.
It's not a good place to be in as youth and children. We're trapped, basically, and we need to be freed.
Why are they doing this to us? We're not animals.
This woman living in direct provision in Waterford says there's a lot of misconceptions about families in direct provision.
These people are not hungry, they are not beggars. They only came here for protection. They only came here for greener pastures. If everybody were to be okay in his or her country, nobody would be here to seek asylum.
Agriculture Minister Barry Cowan will seek to draw a line under his drink driving offence with a Dáil statement tonight. The Minister has apologised for the 2016 incident and that apology has been accepted by the Taoiseach. Here's our political correspondent Sean Defoe.
This morning's Irish Independent had further revelations that Minister Barry Cowan was fined €200 for speeding while on a learner driving licence 3 months before his drink driving ban. The paper reports he appeared in court in June of 2016 after breaking the speed limit at Palmerstown in Dublin. Later that year he was put off the road for 3 months for drink driving. None of this was revealed to the Taoiseach Micheál Martin before Mr Cowan was appointed Agriculture Minister. The Taoiseach, the Taoiseach and a number of Cabinet Ministers have publicly said they accept that Minister Cowan is genuinely sorry for his actions, which he's called a terribly stupid mistake. This evening the Minister will make a statement to the Dáil on the issue. He'll try to draw a line under it, but questions still remain as to why a public representative in his 40s was on a learner's permit in the first place and whether or not he'd been driving unaccompanied to the Dáil during that time.
There was a 30% increase in the amount of fines paid for learner or novice driver offences last year in 2019. 7,300 people settled Garda penalties after breaking the law, like driving without a qualified driver. 189 of these were in Waterford. This compares to 5,600 fines nationally in 2018, 171 in Waterford, according to Freedom of Information files. Tipperary road safety campaigner Alec Lee wants the Gardaí to take tougher action against illegal drivers.
My daughter was killed by a 17-year-old learner driver. She was killed in 2000. It's like yesterday. The only way the pain goes is when you die yourself. That's the only time. So I'd rather the Gardaí take the illegal and dangerous drivers off the road rather than call to some parent and say, your child isn't coming home anymore.
A lawyer based in the US says he's received a very promising lead in the search for missing woman Annie McCarrick. The American-born woman disappeared in 1993 after travelling to Ireland to study. On March 26 that year, she left her apartment in Sandymount in Dublin to travel to County Wicklow. A number of appeals have been made in relation to her disappearance. New York lawyer Michael Griffith says a recent article about the case in the Irish Independent has prompted a new development.
Thanks to Catherine Fagan's article, I received an email from an Irish citizen with a very, very promising lead. We're going to investigate this lead and see whether it's credible or not. I can't go into it, obviously, at the time, but this article did produce something that's got to be followed up.
Halva Gornal issued a warning about people bringing inflatables to the beach. It's after the County Waterford lifeboat was launched to reports of a large dinghy which had blown out to sea. It was spotted some distance from Clonea Strand yesterday afternoon. However, there was no one on board. Donal O'Whalon says the member of the public did the right thing in dialling 999. He says this inflatable was blown out to sea very quickly.
Using inflatables of any nature is very dangerous in windy weather and needs very, very close monitoring. And it's not something that the RNLI would encourage whatsoever, and so here you can see a very large vessel and would have been visibly blowing offshore. It managed to get out of people's sight very quickly, and it just shows you that if there had been a child on board or if there had been somebody on board, they would have been out to sea very quickly, by the wind that was there.
Sports News on WLR.
With Virgin Media Waterford. Want super fast broadband today? Drop into Virgin Media George's Street and take it home with you. Easy as that.
Starting with soccer, where Norwich City are on the verge of relegation, but manager Daniel Farke insists his team will keep fighting. The Canaries are bottom of the Premier League table, 7 points from safety and behind the fourth from bottom side Watford. Farke takes his side to face the Hornets tonight and is still hopeful his team can pull off a great escape.
It seems like all the teams at the bottom are not capable to win any points, so for that could really be that perhaps even 3 or 4 wins, so perhaps are enough, but we'll definitely keep going and we keep fighting, that's definitely for sure.
That game and Chelsea's trip to Crystal Palace kick off at 6 p.m. At 8:15, Arsenal host Leicester City. The owner of Wigan Warriors Rugby League team is looking into buying the football club. Championship side Wigan Athletics were placed into administration last week. Warriors owner Ian Lenigan is being supported by Daryl Eales and Gary Speakman. In a statement, they say they strongly believe that Wigan Athletic is better being locally owned. In racing, there's a 7-race card at Roscommon this afternoon. The first one is just underway there. There's also an 8-race card at Killarney. The first one goes to post there at 4:25 this afternoon. And in Basketball Ireland have confirmed that 3 new teams will play in National Basketball League for the first time. Team Kerry, Drogheda Wolves and Malahide have been admitted to the men's Division 1 team ahead of the new season. This new season was brought forward to begin on the weekend of October 17th, and players will be required to complete a COVID-19 compliance form. Sports news on WLR is thanks to Virgin Media Waterford. WLR asks you to stay safe by keeping your distance. Our next bulletin is at 2.